Who is this? How did you get this number?
Do you admit it, sir?
Admit what? That you're sorry. Now, wait just a minute.
I'll just be the little interviewer in the back.
Yeah.
What do you feel? How do you feel about that, Scott?
I'm going to Disneyland.
How do you feel about that, Ren? And then you crash because I shoved it in your face too much. Okay, hold on. Okay.
I don't have a quote. I don't remember what they said.
I don't have a quote either. We did it, boys. We're at the end of our Odyssey, Myth, and Voyage month, and there's no better way to end the month than with what we just experienced. That was freaking awesome.
Harrison, what did we just experience?
So we just got out of the Hollywood theater here in downtown Portland, and we just finished watching Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. And just to tell about the experience, we walked out of the theater. There's a heavy cloud of weed just, in the air.
It smelled so good.
It was incredible.
I love the smell of burning skunk farts in the morning.
And we just walked back to the car, and we were just like stunned. And we're all just bursting with things to say about that pretty freaking incredible movie. I'm going to just put that out there now.
And I'll put a kind of an intro at the beginning of the episode, but we're doing a first time thing here where we're doing the freshest take version on the road. And I'm driving our car, and I'm going to drive as safely as possible.
Oh, I got faith in you, Ren. I think you got this. Okay, well, here, I'm gonna let you focus to get out of here. But Scott, why don't you open this up?
I just want to bless you with more, safety than Odysseus.
On the worst road trip that I think we've ever witnessed, ever.
Is that a road trip movie in disguise?
Yeah. You know what? We could put that in a road trip category, and I think that would fully qualify in that category.
I mean, isn't that what Oh Brother Where Art Thou is? The worst road trip ever. Okay, so I'm going to say what I said right when I walked out of the theater because I think it's worth saying. It wasn't Wishbone, but I think it's probably my second favorite Odyssey.
I think Wishbone could definitely take the lead in that one.
I'm out of the loop. What's Wishbone? The show? The dog?
Yeah. The little dog.
Milo?
What's
Okay,
the
all
story, Wishbone?
Okay. Is that the one where he's wearing the little hat?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Definitely. And then he definitely shot an arrow through a bunch of axes. He did not, spoilers, he did not just slaughter an entire room full of dudes trying to hook up with his wife. So, dogs do a lot of things, but they didn't pull in a...
They didn't do that.
He didn't, yeah.
There's a lot of dogs in this movie.
There is quite a lot of dogs.
And a lot of them died.
Yeah.
I didn't wait to see in the credits if any animals were harmed in the making of this movie, but it might have.
I would have appreciated it for sure. Okay, I'm just going to give you my first initial thoughts on that.
Hollywood Theater.
Bye, Hollywood Theater.
Please.
I think that film was incredible. I felt the love and the passion that went into that film. I can never say that Matt Damon is a bad actor because I'm serious. Like, Matt Damon is kind of labeled in my mind as the whitest man in all of Hollywood.
He's like you're everybody's favorite neighbor dad.
Yeah. No, exactly. He feels just like a neighbor I could have. Nothing all that big. And look, I know he's been in some great stuff. I love him in The Bourne Identity.
And when he jump scared me in Interstellar, I was like, that's a weird jump scare.
Yeah. Exactly. But I felt his passion throughout that entire film, and he never let up to me. I was mind blown by Anne Hathaway's performance as well. I think the visuals in it were incredible. I think there's problems with it. I felt, honestly, if you could see kind of my waveform of like my interest throughout the scenes, it'd be very interesting.
Yeah.
So, here, I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown right now, because honestly, just kind of like my basic pathway I took with that movie was at the beginning. It felt like utter chaos and utter like, okay, hold on, let's just slow down for a second. And I felt like it was going so fast. And then when the scene hit where they hid in that cave like to hide from the Cyclops.
Yeah.
And I felt like that's when the movie like really settled down and was like, okay, let's tell this story now and let's really get into it. And it really turned up the knobs of like the emotions of the characters and what they were going through. The atmosphere of all of the challenges they went through really like cemented in that movie. And I was like, okay, I'm on the ride now. And I'm really excited about it. And then there was a little dip for me when they got to that island with the giant guys clad in armor. That felt like, what the was that? Then it kept going up and up and up. And then I think this is gonna go against what you said, Ren, but that ending just tanked into the ground for me. Like,
really?
I did. Like, look,
there was a certain line.
See, for me, I think the movie is still really dang good. But honestly, as soon as he started fighting them in that enclosed area, I was like, what are we doing? Like, what is happening? We've lost the story. Like, I don't know. It just didn't vibe with me right.
Well, it felt like a very honest and true depiction of the Odyssey. Like, there was lots of elements of it that I kind of remember because I know the general outline of the story, but I have refrained from kind of refreshing my memory too much before walking into the movie. I just didn't want to like everything to be so predictable. That was a mind-melting, just like action-packed Christopher Nolan. So Nolan-y.
Oh, very.
Absolutely. But it doesn't, I don't know, there wasn't anything too cringy. Like, I immediately think of the Eureka line in Interstellar. But yeah, there wasn't really anything like that. But yeah, I was really impressed. I guess I didn't walk out of it like a semi-religious experience.
Yeah.
But enough to just, like, I'm like supremely impressed.
Okay, so as our resident person who can't stand anything past 90 minutes, like how did you do with the length of the movie? Did you feel that it deserved that 3-hour mark? Like, what do you think about that?
I think the second act heading into the third was a little kind of slowed things down a little bit. But as a whole, I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change anything. And in fact, I'm looking forward to like kind of a rewatch. I don't know if I'm going to come back to the theater. I think I want to bring my wife and my kids to it, but it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
So maybe that won't happen. But
no, yeah. For me personally, like a 3-hour movie really needs to earn it, and I think that movie. It's hard to say because I feel like it earned it, but I also feel like there's stuff in it they could have took out. Literally, I was just talking about it, but that scene where they go to that island and there's those giant guys in armor. I really think you could have just scraped that whole thing, and the movie wouldn't have changed at all.
Let's talk about the witch scene. I had no idea that was part of.
Wait, which scene are we
Which
talking
scene?
about? Okay,
The witch.
The witch.
Comma. Yeah.
Not Calypso, Circe.
Yeah.
Circe.
Yeah. No, okay.
Not expecting anything like that.
No, me neither. I think that might be my slimy scene in this whole movie, to be honest, just from when I got there, because you've seen scenes of people transforming. Like, think about like American Werewolf in London. That transformation scene is absolutely insane, but the depiction of Circe actually physically morphing their faces, shoving her hand down their throat, pushing their noses into the shape of a snout, that just, I was squirming in my seat, and I was like, I have never seen something like this.
Okay, I was thinking Spirited Away mixed with Willow.
Yep.
I leaned over to Ren right after that scene and was like, Willow!
you idiot. Okay, Scott, we're taking over. I need you to save us.
All right. I have never sat down and watched a 3-hour-long movie and not been bored at some point before. Yeah. And this is the first time that I watched a whole 3-hour movie and loved every freaking second of it.
Okay.
So you had no lulls from second to third?
I had zero.
Okay.
Like, everything was totally interesting to me.
Yeah.
All right, so I did not read the Odyssey in high school. I was supposed to, and I didn't. I have, as an adult, purchased the book and started reading, I think it's the Fitzgerald translation. I've started reading it the poetry was like, okay, I gotta like try. So I haven't really gotten very far into it. And then when we knew we were gonna watch it for this, I was like, all right, I'm not going to read the book until afterwards for the same reason that Ren said. I wanted to enjoy the movie for the movie's sake and not be comparing it to like the oldest poem that we have, you know?
Yeah.
I genuinely loved how true it felt.
It really did feel true to the Odyssey.
Like, it was so untamed. Everything about the landscapes and stuff, and the dialogue somehow managed to ride this perfect line. I think only Nolan could have done this dialogue, but it's like, it was clearly a story being told. Everyone's dialogue was written. It was not natural, but it didn't matter because the rest of the movie was exactly the same tone.
Yeah.
And it also didn't feel like the Ten Commandments, where you're like, that was just not the right line to write there for you to act like you were on stage, you know, or something.
Yeah.
But it was a really, really good script for this movie in particular.
So I've heard a lot of people talk about how Nolan kind of modernized the script, brought in like you know, you see this online, but people are talking like, oh, like Tom Holland's character, he calls him dad and not father, things like that. Do you think that modernizing the script in that way worked, or do you think it was distracting? What do you think?
Okay, so here's my hot take. The original poem is written, it's credited to this dude named Homer. It's like 3,000 years old, probably older than that. We don't even know if Homer was a real guy. More than likely, it's kind of like the Bible in that there were a bunch of stories that coalesced into what we think of as the Odyssey and was oral tradition passed down for millennia.
Through story and song, right?
Yes, exactly. And this is part 2 of Odysseus' story. Them going to and taking out Troy was the first book. And this is book 2, right? And so it's just a bunch of tales. This is like Western culture. It's as like old and as important as the Bible, right? It's like to Western culture. Like regardless of your beliefs or anything, like it's just to our culture, this is a pillar. Okay, so for this, it's not like you can cover like you can cover a song for something that old or important. It's like you just tell the same story, you retell it. And I think that that's what he did. I think he just took the story and took all of the really important elements, the things that have been passed down, and there were modern things that, you know, it was like the really cool symbolism of Zendaya being Athena and her being a human being beheaded the exact same time that the statue was, to humanize what he was doing to the Temple of Athena. Incredibly modern take on that.
Amen.
Also effing incredible. You know, there's just a lot. There was a lot more humanity instead of like Lotus, what, you know, that the poem can have. And I think that through line of adding the humanity and expressing the internal struggle, because the poem is very external, like all of our Odysseys and stuff that we've talked about in the past.
You took my point.
But in this one, they really, really internalize the external struggle, and I think that makes it so much more palatable and understandable, because then you're like, I get it. So Harrison, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like your reaction to the end was he's grown through all of this, like, oh, maybe I should have not been a heartless jerk through all of this, and now I'm suddenly a heartless jerk again getting my revenge, and that's what you're balking at the end.
No, what I'm balking at the end is there was about 100 guys in that room, and there was one dude in the middle. They couldn't stop him. I'm not going to lie. I was sitting there just like, what is happening here? But now, I don't know. I don't know if I've thought about it that deep in terms of what you were talking about, but there was a vibe about the ending that didn't click with me. With him killing everybody in that room, and then you know, the moment that some of them stopped and went to a knee, I was like, okay, they can redeem this scene for me, and make it kind of a big deal. I don't know. I feel like they could do something to make this better, and it just really didn't click with me.
A scathing review.
I know, you know me.
I was so impressed with how, like, going into the movie, I was like, how is he going to tell it? Is it going to be, you know, like, beginning to end? And he just did the Nolan thing.
Yeah, okay, so I know just like 5% about how the original story's written down in our translations, and it's the whole first section of the book is Telemachus. You haven't even met Odysseus. It's all Telemachus until he goes and he hears the story, and then it cuts, from the other king. I think is when it cuts to Odysseus on Calypso's island, and then Calypso's island is when he tells all of the previous stuff up to when he leaves, but then he leaves Calypso's island and there's multiple trials to get back home that were totally cut from the movie. They're not even there.
Yeah.
And then he comes home and the trial thing is there. I actually have no idea if he slaughters people. At the end. It was pretty BA, I'm not gonna lie. He Batmaned it.
He did Batman it. One of the big...
He Batmaned Batman.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
and I'm ready
I'm pulling the car
see.
over.
I'm ready to see Robert Pattinson not be a sniveling
Dude,
creature.
he is
I mean, Batman.
great.
His depiction of Batman is probably the closest of not being sniveling, but he's pretty, mopey.
Yeah.
His mom did get shot,
Yeah, that tends to...
That tends to happen to
move,
Batman.
man. Yeah, most definitely.
The pearls.
So, the scene that I'm curious if you know that if this is part of the story, but like the scene that really hit me really hard was when Odysseus is thinking back to Troy, and then he starts talking about we gave them a peace offering, and we just totally betrayed everything about being a human in that moment. Is that something that happens in that story, or is that something that was added into this film? Because I've literally never read the Odyssey. Yeah. I know just the very basic, little golden book that you read when you're a kid. So I don't know if that's something that he does have remorse over, or if that's a lesson he learns. What do you know about that?
I don't know. It felt modern to me.
Yeah.
Also, I don't mind it. I am interested to go back because oftentimes in those stories, what's actually portrayed in these like pillars of Western culture type stories and stuff is it's hubris, it's pride, it's remorse, those sorts of things, and all of that's captured. Like the hubris of what he's putting his men through because. So all of those things are implied, but the stories are so externalized that it's not really about the one-to-one humanity and stuff like that. Those things just kind of get like filed off over the years, the spice and stuff like that. And so you get the pillars, the morals that stick. I think that let's assume it's a modern take, does reflect the morals of what the Odyssey is supposed to be telling.
Right. So would you say that's a good modernizing of a story? Whereas, because I feel like we had a conversation recently where, I think we were talking about with Little Women. Yeah. Where it was kind of like, okay, like they're adding these modern sensibilities to this film, and it feels jarring.
Yeah, it feels like it was tacked on.
Yeah. It feels like it was tacked on.
And like to revisit that Little Women one, it's like the whole book, they're transcendentalists. That means that they care about women's rights. And they're helping in the Civil War. Of course they care about blacks, stuff like that. Yeah. Those things are incredibly important to the story of Little Women, but their entire stance means that they don't have to hit you over the head with it. And the fact that they did hit you over the head with it and added this moral layer on top of what was already in the story, as if the story wasn't enough originally, is what bothers me.
There you go.
And this particular story, I feel like it was perfect. Like it was just exactly made the point. It just made the point that the story needed to make, and you already experienced it anyway. You didn't need to be told. It was not reprimanding the audience for being a bunch of jackasses. It was Odysseus admitting why he didn't want to go home because he was ashamed of what he'd done, which is the story of the Odyssey, which is why he's being punished. across the whole thing by the gods and by fate.
Okay, so what about this? I felt like there was a handful of moments in that movie where I feel like Christopher Nolan didn't trust the audience. So
Go
think
for it.
so. I think he did have. So there's a couple moments where they do a flashback to kind of remind you of who a character is. Kind of like just a quick little one. And I was fine with that for 1 to 2 of those, where I was like, I'm actually glad that was there because I can't tell who that character is because they just came out of the freaking ground and are covered in dirt. So
or they're covered in mud and you can't even recognize
exactly.
it. Yeah,
So I was fine with that.
I gotta say, just really quick insert. I'm glad that they didn't mumble through this movie. They had a good sound editor.
Yeah, no, I agree. Honestly, I felt like I could understand everything, but I felt like I don't have the exact number, but let's say they flashbacked, I feel like they flashbacked like 10 times, and it's like, you really only needed to do that like 4 times for me to actually understand it. Yeah. I feel like there was one pretty egregious one where when Odysseus hands over that small,
The lot.
Yeah, the lot at the very end, and then it flashes back to that scene of him picking the lot out of the thing. I was like, okay.
I've seen this 5 times.
Yeah, it's like, I've seen this. Yeah. I've seen this already. I don't need to see it again. I know who this is. And so it felt a little like, okay, I felt like you didn't trust the audience in this moment. And look, I'm not going to knock off a whole star for that. But I felt like there was
nitpicking. Yeah.
I mean, okay, so it could have shaved off about an hour worth of flashbacks right there. That's fine. I'm with you. I get it. it.
No, I really think that movie could have been 20 minutes shorter, 30 minutes shorter. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. You know me. I'm just a white dude in the backseat of a car right now.
But the soundtrack was so good.
Dude, okay, no.
There were parts where I was floating. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. No.
I was like, that's so corny. It's so corny, but it was like, it's so badass.
It worked.
No, 100%.
It worked because he returned to it later at that final fight scene. Oh, dude, that was cool.
I agree with that one.
That was cool.
No, I'll give that. Look, I have my problems with the ending there, but that moment when he flicks that bow, and it's just like that confirmation of this is Odysseus, and this is who.
String pull.
Yeah, dude.
Okay,
so good.
So when I first saw the trailer,
I have something on this too.
I was like, all right, that's a really weird casting choice. Everyone is like Matt Damon, squishy, soft, Zendaya, Tom Holland. I was like, Anne Hathaway. I'm like, I don't really know about this casting choice. And then they were talking, and they didn't have any fake British accents or anything. And I was like, all right, so everyone's just talking like straight American. All right, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to not lie to you. I freaking loved it. Yeah. In the actual movie, it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah. It took a few minutes to get over myself, but eventually I completely forgot about it.
And John Leguizamo?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's a weirdie, but he was not a weirdie in this.
Luigi Mario?
Yeah, Luigi Mario.
No, honestly,
Mario.
he was the one that shocked me the most. Yeah. That scene where Odysseus finally is back home, walks up to that pyre with his dead dogs burning in it, and he's just broken in half from everything that's happening to him, and then Odysseus is disguising who he is. That ripped me in half. That hit me really, really hard for some reason, and I was impressed. But no, to keep going with your thought about the trailer, honestly, for me, I really, it did feel a little strange, but before I went into the movie, I was like, you know what? If they slay this and they put all their passion and love into this, I bet I'm not going to care one bit. And I will say this, the only character in that movie that felt out of place to me was Tom Holland. And I don't know, there's just a look about him, and maybe it's just because he's Spider-Man. In my head, I just kept looking at him, and every time he came on screen, I was like, oh, Tom Holland, what are you doing here?
He eventually won me over, but I initially felt the
about
same
halfway
way.
thing. Through the movie.
Yeah.
He's
great, though.
When he got to the kingdom, I think is when I was finally he's growing up a little.
Yeah. Well, the thing is this, look, we watch Devil all the time. Yeah. He was incredible in that movie.
Him and Pattinson.
But he was also kind of the same character. Kind of the
he's kind of,
he's kind of like a little boy that has to deal with the crap and grow into it. And I think he's really good at that. I mean, that's Spider-Man.
No.
And Zendaya, freak.
No. Honestly, This is a movie full of who's who in Hollywood. They just got the big people. And the thing is this, they have the skill to do it. So it's like, look, I'm not going to fault you. I do wish we could have a little bit more variety.
Well,
but
Okay. I want you to say what you have to say about the trailer. I have one more thing to say about the casting. So I was thinking about going back to like the Kubrick era and stuff like that. And you think about Spartacus. That was also a who's
just
who.
took my thought.
It's also a who's who. Like that was a big thing. It was like who's the hottest, most hunkiest men and women that we can put in these lead roles. And then we went through this phase, and I couldn't even tell you when it started happening, but probably in the 90s, where it was like, let's tone back on the big name actors so that the new name actors can just be the characters, and we don't associate them with a thing, you know, the breakout roles and stuff. And I think that I'm more partial to that, so that's why I was so like, all right, so you're gonna tell like one of the most important pillars of our culture stories, and you're just gonna slap in all these people that I'm like, he jump scared me in Interstellar. You know, he was a cameo in Ragnarok? The one where, was it Ragnarok or the one after, where he's like pretending to be Thor in the little play or whatever. I was like,
oh yeah, I know.
Anyway, yeah. So Ren, please tell.
You took my Spartacus. Yeah, I absolutely.
Tell me
Just
about
think
your trailer.
when Spartacus came out, that was the who's who of Hollywood too.
Yeah.
My one thing about the trailer that I was really happy about, because in the trailer there's the line where Matt Damon goes, "Let's go." And that is like a Tom Brady, like extremely modern sports phrase that you hear on TV, on ESPN in particular, all the time.
Yeah.
And in the movie, he doesn't say it in that context. Yeah. He doesn't say it in that context. He's literally saying, like, let's go, like, let's get out of here because they're being chased.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was really happy about that.
That's good.
Like, he wasn't, like, rallying up his teammates or his Spartan, like...
Rudy,
yeah. It was... Anyways, I'm just happy about that.
Yeah.
I was, like, that would have been one step too far. Like,
Yeah.
you're quoting Tom Brady
Yeah, I get that.
in this 3,000-year-old story. That doesn't work well.
Okay, so I think it's pretty natural for us to compare this movie, The Odyssey, to Spartacus, because I feel like they're both they're both these big, giant epics. Now, one thing that I really liked about Spartacus, thinking back on it, I think they did an incredible blend of epic scenes that really showed you the scale of what was on screen, but it also had these really close, personal moments between Spartacus and the actress the other actress that he's in love with. I can't remember her name at the moment, but like those moments that really kind of made you realize who these characters are. Do you think that the Odyssey pulled that off and were we able to see the grandness of it, but we still had those personal moments between all the characters?
That's a good point. I think it does pull it off, but like the romance between was it Kirk Douglas and I can't remember the actress's name.
I know, but she's amazing.
Yeah. Nah, I thought it was great. I'm like trying to like formulate my thoughts because I'm driving also.
Oh, it's all good. Here, I'll just whip it over to Scott.
Yeah, so the original characters didn't have any personality.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I think inferring and applying personality to them is great. I think they did a good job with that. His second in command, Amir Hamesh, that actor dude,
Love that
right?
guy.
Yep.
He's great in this movie.
Amen.
He and Odysseus have a lot of back and forths that I think was really honest. I think they did a good job with that. I think the implied romance between Penelope and Odysseus was probably done as best as it could be, but I think that they kind of had to make Anne Hathaway be a little over the top, so she was even basically the only woman in the movie, you know? I feel like she was a little over the top, but her character probably doesn't have a ton of, she holds the fort, and you can imply a lot from what she did, but that felt a little hard.
Yeah.
She did it, I think, as great as you could with the role, and I think that Nolan did as good as possible with the script for her as well, to give her the meaning that she needed to have.
I'll just say I haven't seen much with her in it, but like this is my favorite role I've ever seen her in. I thought she did awesome. Just her facial expressions and the tears that she can just well up on command. I don't know. I was impressed. But again, I don't know what else to compare her to, but I dig it.
You didn't watch... What's it?
27 dresses.
The Princess of Genovia.
The Princess Bride.
The Princess Bride.
yeah.
That's, no, not Princess Bride.
No,
Oh, wait, not Princess Bride. What am I thinking? Princess Diaries.
Princess Diaries.
Yeah, you didn't watch Princess Diaries?
If you enjoy watching our show on Spotify or YouTube and you want to be more involved, we encourage you to please come check out our Patreon community. Not only does our Patreon community get every episode you see on YouTube early, fully uncut, uncensored, and ad-free, but we're also doing Patreon-exclusive episodes, as well as Q&As, video clips, and access to our entire film catalog. It's a lot of fun and a nice way to say thanks for the cost of a cup of coffee every month. Now, back to the show.
And then there was the stuff between Odysseus and Calypso on the island of the Lotus Eaters.
Honestly, I
Charlize.
almost wanted to spend just a little more time there for some reason. Like, I wanted to know more about their experience living there together. I honestly, like, that moment when she told him how long he was on there, I literally was like, whoa, that's insane.
I liked the siren song scene a lot. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, no.
Well depicted. Like, they
Yeah,
rode the
really
line
well done.
about as hard as you could ride it without it being super explicit. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was good. Also really funny to just watch him have like an eargasm as they went by.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were holding in laughter. Okay, there's a part where, in the end, my favorite part was when he was, I can't even remember the line. That's what I hate about not being able to take notes when I'm watching.
Oh, amen. Believe me.
But
it's killing me.
it was something about, it was just like, the song, these stories can only be told if they're sung through a song or something. Or that's how,
Yep.
the song is how our legends will be passed down or something along those lines.
Dude, you totally were like,
Yeah, dude, yeah, I fist pumped. I was like, dude, that is perfect. Because that's
exactly
that's what happened.
It's the Northman.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah,
yeah.
I thought that was excellent.
I will say I did like the ending of them sailing, chasing the sun.
Not in the original story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not in the original story.
Yeah.
I think for
how that tied in.
for how it all tied in and for a modern retelling, I think it was a really, really solid choice. I'm pretty sure in the book he just takes his role as king again and he's like,
and all
boom,
is
boom,
well.
boom, boom, and all is well, yeah.
I like how in the beginning where that guy's stomping his staff, and then that ends up being that final battle scene. However, Nolan just made that all work. Dude, it's so
Well,
Nolan-y.
it's a good
How-
beginning and end connecting. You know?
Totally.
Yeah, the
symmetry
opening
of it all.
opening image and final image is very Save the Cat mirror image of each other, and he just managed to make it literally the exact same scene. I just don't know how Nolan tells nonlinear stories.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind that he can do it and you don't get lost. You're like kind of confused for a bit, but then it all works, and then it gives you something to rewatch and then catch it later.
Well, honestly, I feel like this was pretty tame in terms of non-linear storytelling. Like I don't know, like me
Prestige for you.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. Like I don't know, I felt like this was a very naturally told story to me. I don't know, like I caught you kind of catch on. It's like, oh, this is a story being told. We're going back. There's no moment of like, okay, well, which timeline am I in? And like,
Yeah, there's no confusion.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is the most accessible Christopher Nolan movie to date. Maybe. I mean, I can't think of.
Unless, well, I don't know. I was gonna say Dunkirk, but
No, I
No.
disagree because
Yeah.
I still don't know the timeline. Do you remember the part in Dunkirk where they're like on the boat and then the bullets fly, but then when it shows the airplane airplane doesn't shoot any bullets? I still don't
messes
really
you up.
quite
Messes
understand
you up.
what's going on, but yeah.
yeah. No, honestly, I really wish I could have secretly took notes throughout that whole movie because there's so much going on in that one. But no,
Okay.
you didn't yell at the screen even once, Harrison. I was ready for you to pull out your actual Harrison, and you didn't. And I'm kind of ashamed of you.
Well, when you're in a theater and you're like, oh, these are like serious movie watchers. Like for some reason, like if you're stepping into the Hollywood theater, I imagine that you're really into watching movies. So
So let me give you a little bit of context. We were driving up, and we were 30 minutes early. And you get to a movie theater 30 minutes early before the previews start, you're kind of, there's no need. You could get there 30 minutes late because they're still showing previews.
Yeah.
But we got there like 5:30 for a 6 o'clock showing. They didn't even start the movie until 6:10 or something like that, 6:20. But the entire theater was already full.
Yeah.
we could only get seats in the front row.
Yep.
And so the fact that, like you're 100% right. These people were here to watch a movie on 70 millimeter at the Hollywood Theater. They were ready. They were there an hour early, 2 hours early.
This ain't no Regal movie theater, all
Dude,
right?
I don't know. I'm just gonna put it out there. Every movie theater needs to have assigned seating. I'm perfectly fine with every theater being able to pick your seat before you get it, because we bought these tickets a while ago.
Month ago.
Yeah, a month ago, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? I think we
Good
should have just
point.
had it assigned seating. Just saying.
But the price of admission was to get there early.
That's what it
Apparently.
is.
I can't decide what my slimiest scene is, but I think the Cyclops scene was mind-blowing. Like, his face was so gross and disfigured and nasty.
And then he ate a human.
The scream.
Oh, dude! Oh my god!
Oh, yeah, the head.
Dude, no, the bone crunching
Yeah.
when he was chewing
Just
on
the
that
head.
guy.
The-
freaking. I was so uncomfortable.
The
that whole
worst
time.
part was when he like bit into the dude and then he was like, bleh. And then like I was like, oh.
Yeah, then he just like spits out half this dude. His arm, the arm like just.
like him.
Yeah, no, that was insane. But no, yeah, the sound design.
It sounded
the-
like
yeah.
like a bag of leather holding like crunching bones inside.
Dude, something like that. Yeah,
So gross.
mind blown by that one.
Ren, it's okay for you to park. It's fine.
No, this is fun.
Just for context, he's driving around just aimlessly because he's like, well, I don't want to stop because then we get out and then we can't keep talking.
We got to my house and we're circling the block. Okay,
I
okay.
get good gas mileage, guys. It's okay.
Slimiest scene. Give me a minute.
Okay, wait. I think maybe I just said that because it's the first scene that like blows your mind. But we already mentioned the pig transformation scene, the
Dude.
witch, dude.
Dude,
That's crazy.
That's mine. That easily is mine. I said it at the beginning, but to watch someone physically morph someone's head into the shape of a pig, that was a genius decision.
Very Tulsa Doom.
Very Tulsa Doom, yes. Yeah, no, I think it's that one. And I will say this though, they went into that and they must have been that desperate for food, because when she's like, oh, leave your armor and weapons out there, and I'm like, okay, courtesy. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you see a field of armor that's been rusting there forever, you get the hell out of there.
I felt a lot of feelings. Like, I hate being in, like, the ocean terrifies me, but when they're on the ship,
Dude.
and the sound.
And it was like,
Dude, yeah. And just the
Slam.
sound of the thunder just tearing their ship apart. And then the scene where it splits and his crew like sails away from him. I got like my stomach dropped. I was just like, ew.
All right.
I hate being on the ocean.
all right. So there was that scene all the way leading up to the ship being split. I've never seen a more coherent pitch black scene before. I knew exactly what was happening, even though I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Now, another thing this movie did, it made me realize, like, wow, I'm a freaking wimp because I would never get on that ship. that was insane. I am very excited to watch the behind the scenes of this movie because I want to know what's all real. Because it's Christopher Nolan. There's a ton of things that are real. You just know it.
I know that that this movie could not have been filmed before because they just now made the IMAX camera small enough to be taken and quiet enough to be taken out on a boat. This is the first time they could have filmed that in IMAX.
Yeah.
And they just went out in the ocean, and when it rained, they just rained. And everyone grew those beards because there was no keeping a beard on in the middle of a storm. Like, that was just it. Like, I've read that much.
Yeah.
Right.
Just one thing I'd want to point out is Matt Damon is freaking jacked in this movie.
Dude, no.
Especially after Oppenheimer, where he was a little tubby butt.
Yeah.
No, yeah, big props to him. Like, honestly, like, I think this is a movie that it's going to be like, oh, what was Matt Damon in? He was in the Odyssey. I think people are going to remember this.
Dude, it's crazy at how much volume. Like, he's in so many movies. Like, his catalog of film is just really impressive. He's just like the actor's actor. Like, he just wants to work with people and work with, like, the best of the best.
He just seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah, and he's cool, and he's got his homies. Like, I've seen so many interviews with him and Ben Affleck, and, like, they've just made their own movies, The Rip, and, you know, all those other ones that everyone knows. But, yeah, I'm blown away.
So I remember when when Oppenheimer came out, you know, he did an interview where he was like, told his wife, he's like, I've been in so many movies, we just need to dial it back. So he told his agent, don't sign me up for anything unless Sir Christopher Nolan calls. And then he was in Oppenheimer, and now he's in the Odyssey. Like, he's like graduated into Nolan's life.
Yeah.
No Cillian Murphy though.
No Cillian Murphy.
I thought he was the black soldier with the black armor, but it wasn't him. That was Benny Safdie or something. One of the Safdie brothers.
Yeah,
Dude, I couldn't tell him. I couldn't tell.
That moment when Troy's the gates of Troy open, he's just standing there.
Yeah.
How does... okay, so Nolan does this thing where he grounds movies. He just brings it all the way down to earth. That's why Batman Begins and that trilogy worked at all, was because it was like, let's just take the funny gadgets and the James Bond funny stuff and let's just bring it down to earth, and like, what would a superhero be if he was just like a normal human, you know?
Yeah.
And that's absolutely changed how superhero movies have been made.
Yep.
You know, it just never had been done before. And that's just such a Nolan signature thing. The Prestige, Interstellar, Dunkirk, all these movies, Tenet even, which is such a fantastical movie, is like, you're trying to figure out how it actually worked, you know?
Yeah.
Despite him putting in paradoxes on purpose, you know? And this movie is like a magic story. Like, you go to Circe's and she's gonna turn you into a flock of pigs. And there's a Cyclops, and there's giants, and the Lotus Eaters, and sirens, and stuff like that.
And that, like, 4-head or 8-headed, whatever that thing was that ate out of the rocks.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't even really show it.
I guess that was like the Leviathan, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, or something like that. That one I was like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know what that was. That just stuck down and sucked that guy up.
But he managed to do this, just the most Nolan balance of like, this is really grounded and also these things happen. Like, I could see him just staying up nights, just sweating and crying over how he's going to depict Circe turning them into pigs and making it feel right. And then it was finally like, okay, let's just go old school.
Yeah.
And let's make it practical so it doesn't feel CG. And let's do a bunch of close-up, uncomfortable shifting, reaching into your mouth and reverse photography as they're sitting there eating.
Yeah.
But they're like pulling stuff out of their mouths, and the film, I'm
so disorienting.
I'm putting my bets on this. They filmed them eating and pulling stuff out of their mouths as quick as possible, and then reverse the footage so it's like the food was going into their mouths.
Yeah.
You know, it's just so uncomfortable, so unnatural. And it was like everything you needed, and it was magical and unnatural and unholy, and it worked perfect.
Yeah, no, honestly, great movie. I'm glad I went. I'm excited to watch that again at some point. And I'm putting bets on this right now that the second time I watch it, it will be better. In terms of my rating. I really feel like the second watch is going to make that movie a lot better. It's not going to make it worse.
I almost feel like I blacked out. Like, we're recalling it all fine right now, but, like, it's so loud and wild and nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to rewatch that, like, really soon. That was crazy. With other people, too. That was awesome.
So my slimiest scene, I don't know that I can pick, is actually probably when they get to Circe's Island and Odysseus is separated from his men.
Yeah.
And then he goes and shoots the deer and comes over and it's like a naked dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, that, it was so like real. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
It was really, really, I don't know. It was very, very visceral to me.
And the ring
He found the ring on the table, and so he knew that she did something with his
Yep.
men. I was like, yes! I don't know. That was cool.
Let's see, one scene I want to shout out before I forget it. The moment that Odysseus drops that lantern over the walls of Troy, it hits the ground and it lights up, and you see the army right outside the gate. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
gonna happen now.
Is that horse in Troy? I thought that was a real...
Yeah.
Does that... Oh, okay.
That's the Trojan horse.
Yeah, that's the Trojan
that
horse. Like, that's a whole real thing.
Yeah, that's
So-
the thing.
And what was it?
So is that in the Odyssey?
No, it's in
In real life?
the other story.
Iliad.
The Iliad.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, no, I will say I love that Christopher Nolan went in and gave us the perspective of the guys that were inside that horse.
So
Like,
claustrophobic
this.
and sweaty and
Yeah.
gross.
And they have to like shit in there.
Poopy and
and
smelly.
like they're literally like, yeah, like the first 2 days we were in there, we watched guys drown literally below us.
Also, it made me think of Dunkirk.
Yeah.
When
It
that-
did have a little Dunkirk vibe
Yeah.
with that one for sure. Yeah, no, I'm
They
very
didn't have McDonald's straws in Dunkirk, though.
That's true. That's true.
That's true.
So yeah, no, overall, I walked out of that happy. I'm gonna give it a 4 for right now because, like I said, I think that I really think it could have been shortened down, and there were moments that I was just like, ugh.
But it's the Odyssey.
I know it's the Odyssey.
You know, if you
The
knew
thing-
the whole story, there's probably parts in there where maybe if you were Nolan, you'd be like, I can't take that part out.
yeah,
But I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited to revisit it.
yeah, I think if it was in my hands, I think I could make corrections, but I don't fault him for what he's stuck in there. I'm gonna put it at a 4 right now, but I almost guarantee that if I watch that a second time, it's gonna go up to at least a 4.5.
Yeah.
But I think that movie deserves the hype and excitement that is around it right now.
Absolutely.
And I think it is going to be labeled as one of his best ones. And especially Matt Damon, to me, I think that's going to be one of his crowning jewel movies
Yeah.
that he was proud to be in and people are going to remember him by.
This feels very appropriate to be coming out now too. I don't know why, but like I'm thinking of like the World Cup was a few days ago. The Odyssey's out right now. Just the state of the world and like I don't know. This is an exciting time to be in a movie theater again. We were talking about COVID a little bit earlier, and like I'm so glad that's so far behind in our rearview mirror right now. And
It's
like
the length of Calypso's
Yeah.
time.
I just feel like
Ago.
I just feel like we're back, dude. Like it feels good. It feels right.
I feel like that was probably the most modern message that he put in there was that if the world burns, civilization will rebuild. And I feel like politically and geopolitically and stuff like that, we kind of have this haze over the whole world that feels like the world is just in a state where it's burning. And it was kind of a hopeful message that like, hey, it wasn't like a doomer, we all hate humans. It was just like, hey, if we've effed up, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
As opposed to, we gotta go to Mars or it's not gonna change, you know? Or, you know what, we killed the trees and the whales, we're gonna heat up the earth by 10 degrees centigrade and
Yeah, right.
it's our fault
That'll
and
solve
this
our
kind of
problems.
stuff. It's a 5.
Five
Five,
for me,
straight
yeah.
for
I mean,
fives,
I
I
would.
love
It's like a 4.8.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But it's a 5.
And I'm excited to see it again, which is another hallmark reason that it's a 5 for me. I want to watch it again, like soon.
You guys know me. I love Nolan. He is my favorite director today. He has his quirks and his flaws, but so did Kubrick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so did...
Yeah.
Gosh, I can't even think of any... I'm just thinking of Nolan right now.
Yeah.
This movie doesn't feel
John
small.
Milius. John Milius.
There you go.
It doesn't feel small at all.
Yeah.
It feels
No.
like an epic. And I just didn't know you could make movies like that. And I was unconvinced after watching the trailer that this movie was going to do it. Because there have been so many great modern epics that feel modern. The Avengers trilogy, stuff like that. Like, they're incredible. They're big. They're impactful. They're visually stunning. They're heartrending. All the things. They're funny. They're sad. They're amazing. This feels ancient, like a modern, around the campfire retelling version of an epic movie. And I just am so happy that I was alive to see it. And I think that this is Nolan's best movie. And the guy's effed. He's never going to make anything better. So
Yeah, it may not be like everyone's favorite Nolan movie, but I think it is his best.
Yeah. I can see that.
Maybe. We'll see. This is a fresh take. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow I'll be like, I hated it.
When we sit down to record our next episode, I think we can do we can spend just kind of that beginning banter, just kind of refreshing our thoughts on it, because I think we all do need to sleep on it and see where we end up tomorrow.
How many days do I got to read the Odyssey before our next episode?
4, 3, 4, something like that. Come on.
Audiobook it. Okay, so real quick, we got to talk about it, but for the next episode, we're going to be meeting up and discussing an absolute banger. This movie is titled Flash Gordon, and I'm really excited to just laugh my ass off with you guys and talk about this hilarious movie.
Yeah, no. Somehow our schedule landed that we all have watched it, but we can't record for a little bit. So we're like really brewing on this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it. I mean, I'm guaranteed I'm going to be watching it a second time at the very least. So I'm excited to talk about it with you guys. So
Yeah.
Flash. Oh! All right. Well,
All right.
I think we're going to call it a night.
We're signing off. All right, guys.
Peace, love, and Zeus's law.
Zeus's Law, baby.
That's a wrap on this episode of Cinema Slime. Be sure to watch the next film for next week's show. We had a blast, and we hope you enjoyed it. This episode was a production by Cinema Slime Productions. This is a group effort, and I speak for all of us when I say thank you. Seriously, it means a lot to us, and thanks for listening however you found us. Help us grow, leave us a 5-star review, and it really helps if you comment and share it with another cinema lover. Our website, cinemaslime.com, is up and running. We're adding essays. All of the episodes can be accessed there. And for our Patreon members, you get every episode ad-free and early. Our social media pages are always active, posting fun stuff, movie-related videos, and other film rabbit holes that we're exploring. You can also show us support by using Buy Me a Coffee, and we'll give you a shout-out if you'd like. All of those links can be found in the episode notes. Love you!